everybody. Welcome to session 4, one of my favorite sessions of Unit 7, Module 1, called Fruit Pizza. It makes me kind of hungry just thinking about it. Okay, hey, let's take a look at what we have to do today. We are going to do some work with fruit pizzas. I'm not going to necessarily make one. If you want to make one and kind of show us that, that would be kind of cool. But right now, we're just going to be doing some figuring. So you're going to need your student book and open up to page 261 for that, please. When we are done investigating our fruit pizza, which we will have a math forum tomorrow, which we're going to talk a little bit more about our work, we're going to play workplaces. That's the Roll 5 game that we learned yesterday. So play it again. It's always good to use your problem solving skills in solving that. I really enjoyed playing that game with one of my students yesterday, and I'd love to. I'm definitely going to try to challenge my 18 and 16-year-old kids today on that one. When we're all done, you have your student book, page 262, and your home connections pages 135 and 136. But before we get started, look at page 260. 260 is your homework from yesterday. Pause the video and let's go ahead and correct any of the answers that maybe you did not kind of get correct. And if you have any questions, reach out to your teacher to figure out why you got the answers that you did. When it says that expressions may vary slightly, that means you might have come up with a different way, but that's okay. So make sure that you get that done, get that checked, and then we'll move on to our next part of the lesson after you hit play. All right, welcome back. We are now going to discuss fruit pizza. Yummy. All right, so let's listen a little bit about it. We have Lisa. Lisa's parents own a bakery. They sell fruit pizzas made of granola crust with yogurt filling and a fruit topping. Many fruit topping choices are available. You can see them all down the left side of your page 261, I'm sorry. Lisa wants to make a new fruit pizza to eat with her friends, or a few of those, sorry. And she needs to figure out how much fruit to buy for each kind of pizza she makes. She found a chart that her parents made for their latest pizza order that shows how much of each kind of fruit was used on different numbers of pizza. Now you have to use the information on the chart below to help Lisa figure out how many cups of fruit that she would need for each different kind of pizza, so she can decide if she wants to make a blueberry pizza or a strawberry pizza or a peach pizza or some other kind on the list. But you have to note that cups of fruit are divided evenly among the number of pizzas. So if it takes 2 cups of fruit to make 4 pizzas, that means we have to put a half a cup on every pizza. You can't just put a cup on one and then a quarter and then whatever. So it has to be spread evenly. So you're going to solve each of these problems in your math journal. Now write your answers then in the chart, and then be ready to kind of go over these answers tomorrow. Some of the things I want you to consider before we begin is what is actually a fruit pizza. Now think about it, right? We're taking granola, crushed granola, and it's put together somehow into a crust, right? So think of a granola bar, right? And then on top of that, we're going to put a yogurt, whatever your favorite kind of yogurt is. So instead of having bread and a regular pizza, we're having yogurt. Instead of having a tomato sauce as the base, we are using yogurt as the base. And then we are going to put some fruit on top of it. Have you ever made one? I mean, it sounds like it could be fun to make. So while we have time, right? Maybe you should think about doing one. What might be your favorite fruit topping for the fruit pizza, right? For me, I'm a big fan of strawberries, and I love myself some grapes. But I am also a kind of a meat pizza type person. Like I like all the pizza, so I like a whole bunch of different kinds. So I'd probably like a fruit salad pizza where I'd have a little mix of everything. Now, how many cups of fruit do you think might go on one fruit pizza? So if we take a look here, if our blueberry pizza might take more cups of fruit per pizza compared to our grapes, right? You kind of figure that out, or it could be the same. I don't know. You have to do the math anyway, so I'm not going to ruin it for you. Look at the chart. It lists different kinds of fruit that it takes to go on top of a large number of pizza. So, for instance, we have 237 cups of blueberries that need to fit onto 79 pizzas. So, how are we going to determine that? How are we going to figure that out? Or 88 pizzas, or we have 352 cups of strawberries to go on 88 pizzas. So, how much or how many cups are we going to devote to just one pizza? How are you going to figure that out? Okay. Now, do you think all of these pizzas are going to take the same amount of fruit? Or maybe they take a different amount of fruit? Why don't you make that, and how do you know? So why don't you consider that? You may have to use a ratio table. Ratio tables would work here, or division. Now, remember, there are some problems that you might have a remainder on, and if you have a remainder, you need to break that down into a fraction. All right, which would put the remainder over the amount of cups, and then you would reduce that into its smallest, lowest terms. All right, so get that all filled out for us for tomorrow's lesson. We'll go over this. When you are done figuring that out, find somebody to play role 5. In fact, you don't necessarily have to find someone to play role 5. You just have to, you could play yourself, right? And then just have fun doing that and see which side works. Feel free to post that on your Seesaw or in anything else that you have to show that out. Try at this time. Last time we played, all we really used is addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division with some parentheses. Try making some of those numbers a fraction. So if you had a 1 and a 2, change it to a 1/2. How does that affect your answer? That'll give you bonus points if you can do that. So you'll have 2 answers, right? You'll have, 2 numbers, which will give you 2 points, and you used a fraction. That gives you another one. Yesterday, I should have remembered, if you use division, you also get more points. And yesterday I did divide. It was a pretty cheap divide. I divided my total by 1 and got the same one. But I should have gotten an extra point, which makes me 1 more point higher than what I got yesterday. All right, so when we're all done playing this roll 5 and you recorded that out, time to get to work on your student book pages, page 262, and your home connections, page 135 and 136. When you're all done, you're done. All right. If you have any questions, please reach out to your teachers as soon as possible. If you don't have any questions, have a great day and enjoy math.